Alright everyone, now it's time for the big one. How do we board large and XL ships with Marines? And I've set up two different scenarios here. I am in Silent Witness 9, which is gray, an unclaimed system. Why is that? Because if you try to board a large ship that belongs to a faction in their space, police might get involved. You will start attracting a lot of attention. They may send out SOS drones to get the attention of others and bring undue attention on yourself. So that is why I'm here in a sector where there are no police, no one is going to care, and that makes picking off a target nice and easy. The second thing I've done is set up two different scenarios. We have an XL Condor Sentinel, and if we look at its information, we look at the crew, I've fitted it out with 48 Marines that are veteran level. You can see our stars here. Zoya Smith is our NCOIC with 3 stars, all the way down to a 2-star minimum, with plenty of service crew that we are going to help train up in the future. I've also spawned in 40 experimental shuttles, each with 1 Marine. And the first thing is, if you are going to board with a lot of ships with Marines on them, we need to make it a fighter group. So we're going to go to Property Own. At this point, it really doesn't matter who our commander is. We will just take the top one. So everyone else, we will left click on the second, scroll down to the bottom, and shift left click to select them all. We're going to right click on the top experimental shuttle, and then we are going to attack with Commander Alpha. What that will do is attach every other fighter experimental shuttle to this one experimental shuttle as the commander. So there we go. That is Fleet 1, led by this experimental shuttle, meaning if we tell this experimental shuttle to fly and wait, it is going to drag the entire fleet with them. Every one of these experimental shuttles has 1 Marine to sort of demonstrate what the two different approaches of boarding are. We are going to look at what it's like to assign a board option to one fleet leader that has a bunch of subordinates. And then conversely, what we're actually going to do is carry out the boarding operation with 1 ship with a lot of Marines on it, that Condor. And I have told my pilot to follow this Argon construction mammoth. So a construction ship is a good target to capture yourself. Paying the fees of building your own stations gets expensive when you have to hire builder after builder after builder after builder. So having one of your own might not be too bad of an idea. The next reason why this isn't a bad idea is it's not a combat ship. There are no real turrets on it. There's no weapons. We're going to be facing light resistance, and to prove that, we are going to scan this ship. Much like the small ships, we're going to go into Shift 2 mode. We're going to Shift X to match our target speed. We're going to Shift F. There we go.
You can't do that.
Well, we just did. So now we know everything there is to know about this vessel because we've scanned it. We will let our pilot continue to follow it just in case it decides to leave. There you go, Mr. Marvel, proceed with current orders. So we'll go to the information tab, left click the ship, right click the ship, information. And now we will see that it has a 4-star pilot. It has 7 Marines on it. Well, what kind of Marine resistance are we facing? A 1-star NCOIC, and that's the rest of the Marines. There's 1 passenger on board, and then a whole lot of service crew. One thing that you might see if you are trying to take a rattlesnake, or a carrier, or a battleship, is there will be a lot more Marines on it than this, and they will have many, many stars. A 4-star Marine can single-handedly kill 20 or 30 of your half-star Marines. So don't think that, oh, I've got a numbers advantage, this is going to be easy, because it might not be. So how do you get new Marines? So you hire some Marines from a wharf or a shipyard, and they're all terrible. How do you find good Marines without combat? Head to a defense platform. Here we have the Hatikva Argon defense platform, and the first one we run into is a Marine, a 1-star Marine, 4,800. He could be the most important Marine. Here is an engineer. But look around this defense platform or any defense platform. Good chance is you'll find Marines. So here's a 2-star Marine with 3 morale, 186,000 credits. So that's kind of the range that you're looking for. If you're looking for a 3 or 4-star Marine to turn the tide, we're talking, 500,000 to $1 million or more credits. So it's just up to you if you have the money to spend to guarantee success. Also pay attention to the crew capacity. So this builder can hold 220 crew, meaning that we could send 220 Marines on it if we wanted to. So also keep that in mind. If you have 500 Marines hired, but you're trying to capture a ship that only has a crew capacity of 40, you are only going to be able to send 40 over at one time. Now this builder has moved right next to Argon stations, so if it doesn't come back into Silent Witness, we will find another target. Because I do not feel like shooting at an Argon ship with all of these Argon stations and possible Argon police around will get lit up. And speaking of which, our Condor is almost here in Silent Witness 9 anyway, so let's just stage there until we can find another target. Now this one's gonna be worth a little bit more, the Phoenix E Plunderer by the Scale Plate Pact. So Scale Plate Pact, you can capture their ships without really much of a fuss. I haven't seen any reputation loss with capturing Scale Plate Pact ships. Like half of my main combat fleet is Phoenix E's and Phoenixes from the Scale Plate, so I know it's okay to pick them off. They have a crew capacity of 45, meaning we're going to be sending 45 Marines over. And let's just knock this out of travel drive and take a look at it. So what we've done, we have come to a full stop in the Phoenix Plunderer's sphere of influence, and we're being tugged along. Let's look at the information to see what kind of Marines might be on this thing awaiting us. Information. So they have 15 Marines, and as you can see, they got some pretty stout Marines, 2.5 stars. Luckily, we're bringing a veteran crew, because if we were to send 45 half-star Marines, or Marines of this type, these 2.5 stars would wipe them all out, no problem. So, there are 2 different realms of thought on boarding. We can either swarm with unrelenting force, 1 Marine per fighter attacks this Scale Plate Pact ship, sending their 1 Marine over, and that looks a little bit like this. We will click the fleet leader. We will right-click the Scale Plunderer. We will board, and that brings up this screen. We can see 39 subordinates plus the fleet leader are going to try to board. The boarding target is the Plunderer. It has 5 of its 8 turrets, 24 crew. So configure. Ship behavior while engaging the target. We can tell those different fighters to try to disable the target. What that will do is try to shoot engines, shoot the turrets, just try to take it out. Marines to board with. We don't have any elites, but we have 34 veterans. So that is all of our Marines from all of our ships. We only have, 34 Marines on board. The approach. So, risk. Target combat effectiveness strong with a low risk. What that means is weakness, destroy every single turret on here. We can see there's 5. These Marines will not approach until all turrets are dead. Medium means half of the turrets are dead. So once we shoot 1, they'll be at 4 out of 8. The Marines will start to make their approach. If we say very strong, that means they're going to launch immediately, no matter how many turrets we have destroyed. All 8 could be up and running. Here come the Marines to get blasted out of the sky. So the safest bet is to go very weak. That will make you destroy all 5 turrets before the Marines even come out of their ship. Next stage is the infiltration stage. This is how strong the hull is in percent before the Marines start trying to cut through. So very strong means they're going to try to cut through the hull at 100%. But the risk to Marines is very high because there are things on this ship inside that can trap the Marines, get them stuck, hallways, the works. You don't see it, but you hear the Marines take a lot of casualties because this hull means their defense is inside are 100% good to go. Conversely, medium means at 50% hull. So if we get the main hull down to 50%, there's a medium risk to Marines. If we can go very weak and get it down to 20, 25%, there's no risk to the Marines. There's nothing inside that is stopping him, but the risk of destroying the target is very high because, of course, it doesn't have many hull points. What I do is do a medium or a weak. That way, there's a low risk to Marines, and we can be the only ones attacking it to keep the risk low. So if we click Start Operation, they would wait for us to destroy all of the turrets. Then they would launch and cut through the hull when it is at 50%. But my preference, I'm going to cancel this. My preference on what to do is to use one ship without its turrets on to launch all Marines together. So we're going to select our boarding craft, go to its loadout, and disarm all the turrets so that they don't try to destroy the target. We are going to do that in our Kurokami. We are going to be like a surgeon, picking this thing apart piece by piece. So that nothing bad happens, we're going to tell our experimental shuttle flight group to just leave the sector. We have this covered. So what I've done is I've swapped to the experimental shuttle because that Kurokami had really strong weapons, but they took just so long to recharge, we don't have time to wait for that. All right, so let's begin our attack. We'll nuzzle right up to the engine. We will select the engine, and what I'll do,
We found something out here.
that's fine, is we will set, say, fire group 1. Fire group 2 will be that one, and say that one. Fire group 3 will be those two, so I could go like 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and keep my guns ready to go. Engines will be our first target because if they can't move, they can't get us. Let's do a full salvo on weapon group 1. Yeah, there we go. Plenty of Daka Daka. All right, next up, we will hit up engine 2. Be on the lookout for any turrets that might get us. Just click the engine. Let it loose. That is 2. Third engine is right up there. And we'll position ourselves. We're getting hit a little bit by a drone, I believe. But there's all 3 engines gone. This plunder is not going to go anywhere. Now, with the plunder selected, use your end and home key to cycle through. Let's get out of here and get our shield back a bit. All right, shields are back. We have the Paranid medium shard turret selected, so let's bob and weave. There is our target right on the nose of this thing, on top of the mushroom. There we go, and
We were hit.
skadoosh. All right, that is one turret gone. We can see the shard batteries firing. We can get out of there. And it's already selected our next turret. It's going to be right on this right-hand side right there. And I believe it said, there were 5 turrets to take care of, so we'll swing around, slow down. Their service crew has not repaired those engines yet. Once we see the engine come online, we will go right back to the engines. All right, that's the next turret gone. Still in good shape. Guns are cooling. Over the top. Gimbal selected, and there we go. Boost away. So this next turret is going to be on the bottom here. While the circle is the square is illuminated, that means that we can see it. If that was dim, then it would not be available. It would be sort of on the backside. All right, give it full beans. There's that. The next shard turret is also within range. We will give it the beans. There goes that. Now it's selected the pulse turret on the right-hand side, and I think we're at the point now where we can kind of hide under the belly. We'll take a gander, see did they get any engines back. No, they did not. So once our shield comes back, we'll pop around this bottom side. You can see the repair drone there trying to get the engine back. Let it go. Once we capture this ship, that will be our repair drone. All right, there is the battery.
Turret.
Cool, that turret is down. One more turret on this back side, and I believe this may be it. There it is, lit up nice and neat. full beams. It can't track us.
Turret.
Oh, another shard turret over the top. So you see how that square is sort of dim? That means it's on the other side of the hull. We can't shoot it from here. We have to maneuver up, get over the top here, and now it's in range. Surprise!
Phoenix.
All right, so now that we have, oh, it's got its engine back. No, you don't, good sir. Cool.
Phoenix.
All right, select the Phoenix one more time. Cycle through the target. So shield generator, shield generator, shield generator, shield generator, shield generator, shield generators. Awesome. So that is every turret taken out on this Phoenix. Now our Marines can approach. So let's go ahead and give them their boarding orders. So we will come to a full stop here, open our map, left click our Condor Sentinel, right click the Plunder, board, and it actually says we haven't scanned it yet. So we can do that real quick.
Phoenix.
Select the Phoenix, Shift F, go ahead and give it a scan. There we go, 26. Now we can do our board. Left click our boarding ship, right click on the ship we want to board, and board. All right, send our 48 veterans. All right, so stage 1 approach, we can say very strong because all of the turrets are gone. So they will launch immediately. We are going to do the work and lower the hull down to, say, weak. I think that would be fine. And then we're going to start that operation. So that Condor is now going to come in and drop off the Marines right away because we have all of those turrets taken care of already. Our next step is to lower the hull down to 50%. So we have to chew through the shield generator. So I wonder, our big shield generators, there we go, the Talati Shield Generator Mark II. If we can put a dent into that, then the hull will be easier to hit. So this is where we're going to go to Weapon Group 2. Let it go. Weapon Group 3. Let it go. Weapon Group 2. Let it go. So that way we're sort of toggling. There's 2. There's 3. We're sort of working on these shields here, on the shield generator itself. And if we're lucky, they're going to start abandoning ship. So the crew itself, the service crew, might abandon. I don't know if any of the Marines are a little bit yellow, but they might abandon ship too, making our approach a whole lot easier as well. You know, on this approach, we are going to go to information. Let's try to go to the loadout and say attack all enemies and arm the beam turrets. That way they can sort of help us do damage. And we'll keep a lookout at the hull. And once it starts getting low, we can disable the shields on our Condor coming up. All right, that thing got its engine back on. So, no you don't, good sir. You are not leaving. And they launched some laser towers. So we'll go ahead and take care of the laser towers.
Laser tower Mark II.
And there go the Marines, because all of the turrets themselves were taken care of.
Phoenix. E.
All right, now back to that shield generator. So there we go, damage the hull to 30%. That's what we're working on. We have our Condor also assisting us shooting those beams, trying to take care of the engines. So once we break through the shields, we will turn the turrets of our landing craft off. Which actually might not be a bad thing to do now because we're about to break through the shield. So disarm all turrets, please. And we will continue working on the shields. Get this shield generator taken care of. And then get the hull down to 30%. Oh,
Engine.
they got their engine back. So let's take care of that real quick so they don't go anywhere. There we go. Shields down to 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we just need raw damage here.
Shield generator.
There we go. Shield generator down.
Phoenix.
So now we can actually hit the Phoenix with some shots. Get it down to 30%. And then our Marines will start cutting through the hull. And already we're down to 20 crew members, so there are some that are heading to the escape pods. That's less resistance we have to deal with with our Marines. There we go, 28% hull.
Making our way through the hull.
And now our hands are basically free. We're gonna let the repair drone work. If we see the shield or the engine come back online, we'll just take it out, and the Marines are going to get to work. Meanwhile, we can keep shooting. Try to hit those shields, make the people on board kind of scared. Maybe rethink their life a bit. So we'll try to keep it under 30%. We'll go down to, say, 20 or so. There's still a lot of hull left at 20% hull, and that's just going to help the Marines get through and maybe even cause more to evacuate. So there's 20% hull. We'll hold off there. No, you don't. You're not going anywhere. And there we go. The Phoenix E is now ours. And these repair drones are now ours. We will let them work. So what we're going to do is we will dock
Granted.
right here on the Phoenix E, go inside, and get situated here. All right, everyone, on the bridge of the captured ship, there are only Marines in here, and we will leave it here because next time I will transfer over the service crew, and we will get some experience in repairing for our service crew members, get them XP, and then get this ship to the dock. So I hope you will join me for that.